What's going on, my friends? This is Dave Sharpe. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary. We have got another exciting episode this morning. You are going to hear from shy grocery store clerk, right? Now, obviously, she has much more in store, particularly now that she's discovering this amazing potential that she has, but goes from 0 to 19,000 followers in 24 days, and also from really just barely getting by to now generating some pretty significant revenue for herself. So let's hear from Sarah herself. Sarah, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. Thank you for taking the time to come on. Where are you calling in from?
I'm in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. A nice sunny day down here.
Okay, nice, nice, nice. So, my daughter would love your hair, by the way. I love it too, but
Thank you.
she would be obsessed with it. Um, so what led you to legendary? I mean, it's a pretty incredible story. And I don't know how much you're using this story. I mean, it's really, in the marketing world, it's one of those stories that we kind of we dream about, like shy grocery store clerk, goes from barely just getting by to now, making some pretty significant income probably for you. I don't know if I would
Yeah.
use the word life changing. I mean, it might not be
Oh,
life changing.
definitely.
Okay. So like first and foremost, how do you feel about this new direction and this new kind of, this new venture that's happening in your life right now?
I'm completely blown away. Every day, comments coming in from people saying that they love how I'm trying to, help them learn and grow as well. Seeing the growth in the short amount of time, I believe it's like a month and 19 days now. I've been, posting content and everything. I'm just blown away. And like you said, it definitely was life changing. I was like barely getting by, running with one car between me and my boyfriend I live with, to now being part of a community that isn't just about, like the financial part. It's also about like helping others learning and growing. And that was just something that when I came across it was different than anything that I had seen.
Yeah, you're talking about legendary, right?
Hmm.
Hey, hey. So, well, awesome. What's your boyfriend? What's he think of all this?
He honestly, every time I talk about it, is just kind of like in awe.
Yeah,
He didn't realize, we both grew up with the, get a 9 to 5, work till you retire. So seeing that you can learn something from such a great company like Legendary and grow not only just as an individual, but, with, expanding your reach and like helping others as well, he thinks it's one of the best things that I've started doing.
that is awesome. Good for you. Really, really, I'm so happy for you. Uh, so happy for God. I love to see people win in general. I love to see women win. I mean, it's such a I'm surrounded by wonderful women in my life, and it's such a cool thing to see you win and to see your boyfriend be excited for you and quite frankly in awe of what you're doing. Right? I mean, everybody's always in awe of like what a guy's doing, as if like they're it's like women are shining in this business and in our community, and I love it. It's women run our company. Women, it's just a beautiful thing. I'm really,
Hmm.
really excited for you, and I'm excited that your boyfriend is so supportive. So good for you guys. Um, so, what led you to being like? What led you to legendary? Basically, is what I'm curious about.
I had seen someone on TikTok talking about the company, and I had seen, other things out there that didn't really catch my eye as much as Legendary did. Um, I ended up looking at your YouTube channel and seeing some of your interviews with other people before I actually did the 15-day challenge myself.
Mhm.
And once I kind of got an idea for your message and your story and community and family and everything, I was hooked. It was like from there it was just up.
Yeah. Yeah, it helps to see these interviews that we do every day that you're now doing right now, right? Real life happening
Hmm.
right now, are really helpful, right? Because you
Hmm.
get to see and hear from other people. And as you just experienced when we started the show, there wasn't any prep, there was no script, there was there was just okay, ready.
Yeah.
you know, it's pretty, and we really thrive off of that. I personally thrive off of that, I guess, variety or spontaneity. You say you're a little shy. What how has this whole business and this venture slash adventure that it seems like you're on right now, especially in the beginning stages, how has it changed you as a person?
I think it's made me realize that I shouldn't be so concerned, with the outside world beyond me as far as, what people are going to think per se. I
Mm,
kind of just kept to myself, did what I needed to do and kind of went about. I never ever thought that I would be, communicating with so many people through social media and posting on social media, helping others like that. I never thought that I would be in that realm. And I think that the idea that, like how you talk about in your videos that you're solving a problem for people and you're helping others learn and grow
mm.
really helped me change my mindset on, okay, so, don't worry so much about, what you might look like or sound like. Just, go out there and try to just solve and help others.
When you say look like and sound like, literally, do you mean like your physical appearance, like, or getting dressed up, or in your maybe a woman's case, getting full makeup on and all that? Like you're saying, like that shit doesn't really matter as much as the message that you deliver, and if you're actually helping people.
Yeah, a lot on social media, especially in the realm, since we're speaking of women, it's very, glamour and makeup and fashion, and I'm jeans and a t-shirt, no makeup, dyed hair.
All right.
So I was a little nervous to get out there and try to put a message out and relay information not fitting into that kind of standard,
Yeah.
but realizing that that doesn't matter and that the message is more important was something that really changed the game for me.
I think that's just a huge thing. I mean, I'm pressing on this a little bit because I think we all, in our own way, whether male or female, or however you identify gender is not
Hmm.
really important. But we all have a this our own story slash image management is kind of what I call it. It's like we want
Hmm.
to manage our image, and what I realized was I was putting a lot more importance on my image than anybody else was,
Hmm.
like, and I don't mean a little bit. I mean, like, I was putting this much and others were putting like this much, as long as I wasn't like butt naked and just in like absolutely inappropriate on
Hmm.
camera. Nobody really gave a shit what I look like, or if I had a haircut or not, or if I have gray in my beard, or if I wear the same shirt every day or the same hat every day, which I do. Nobody cared about that. I just, it took me like a long time to really, really realize that. But it seems like you're picking up on that so early in the game, and it seems to be a big, big deal. And I think I mean, would you say that just letting go of that sort of image, I mean, what would you credit your sort of breakthrough success in this early season to? Is it a bit of that? What else would you credit it to?
I think I would credit it also to watching Wake Up Legendary, seeing other people get on here, my age, a little younger, older, my
Mm,
grandparents' age,
mm,
seeing and realizing that it doesn't have to only be about that aspect. I kind of just said, screw it, and was like,
mm,
let's take a chance on not caring about it. And from
mm,
there, I just found it to be such an easier way of relaying what I really wanted to get out there
mm,
and just made me, more relaxed and happier in doing it as well. And
Mm.
I credit these Wake Up Legendary videos that I've been keeping up with and your YouTube and just the entire message itself.
Yeah, that's great. I I um I really sense that, I really sense that you are becoming more comfortable in your own skin. I mean, just sitting here talking with you right now, it come, I haven't watched a ton of your videos and so forth. I'm really just meeting you here for the first time today. But I sense that, and I think it's such an empowering decision to kind of say, screw it, right? It's like,
Hmm.
I'm going to kind of stop living my life for everybody else. You
Yeah.
know, I'm going to stop worrying about what everybody thinks of what I'm doing or and really ultimately the kind of kicker is it's not really what anybody else thinks. It's really actually, I'm going to stop worrying about what I think so much, you know,
Hmm.
because I feel like a lot of these limiting beliefs that we have where we say, okay, I'm going to stop caring about what everybody else thinks. It's kind of like a boogeyman. Like
Hmm.
we tell ourselves it's somebody else, like our friends are unsupportive or all the haters out there, but really it's us. You know what I mean?
Oh
Really
yeah.
it's our own self-criticism and our own insecurities. And so talk us through a little bit of that of self-talk that you had before. And I'm not talking about the messaging that you got when you were young, because you said that you got the be a good little girl, be a good little boy, go
Hmm.
to school, get a job, be quiet. I also heard don't make too much noise, just stay in
Hmm.
line and don't
Hmm.
make too much noise. What was your self-talk like before the actual things that you said in your head, and what is it changing to now?
Beforehand, I used to kind of just, go by the rule book they gave you. I would just say, okay, well, just keep doing what I'm doing, working 6 days, 40 to 45 plus hours, keep doing that. One day it'll pay off, one day it'll work out, one day everything's gonna be okay. And it just kind of transitioned into I don't have to just keep doing this, like hamster wheel and hope for the best. I can take the action and do it myself and do it for me, for my family as well. Yeah, I have a younger sister I want to spend more time with,
Mm,
see her grow up. I have grandparents,
mhm,
but it was also for me myself because I've always sat there and been listening to the voice in the back of my head telling me, well, you don't want to do that if it might result in this. So now it's kind of transitioned into this, you've got this, you can do this. Who cares if someone says something or doesn't have, the same mindset as you do or thinks that you're wrong. If you believe in what you're doing and you're happy with it and you're having fun and, making a difference, then that's what really matters.
yeah. And do you believe in what you're doing? Do you have conviction about what you're doing, um, in terms of what you're talking about and the messages that you're sharing and the value that you're sharing? Is there real true belief there in what you're saying?
Oh yeah, 100%. When I first started out, first kind of said, let's try it and did the challenge. There was still that, message that my mom instilled, question everything, be really careful. But then as time went on and learning, you know, reaching out with questions and, getting real responses and the idea of family and growth just really changed it all around to now I won't go back. I won't go back to working what I was. I won't go back to that mindset that I'm at now. Like everything's genuinely changed for
Mm,
the better
yeah.
and hopefully keeps going.
Yeah, I really believe the reason why I asked, do you really believe in what you're doing and saying right now? This business model of internet marketing and selling information, and quite
Mhm.
frankly, I mean, really, what we're talking about here is entrepreneurship. We're talking about leveraging the tools that are available to us in 2021, which is the internet and cell phones and social media, viral social media platforms, and so forth. All these tools are available. We don't have to get our information from an encyclopedia anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Um, We don't have to sit in a classroom for 6 years before we can go out and get a job that pays $10 an hour or whatever, right? And work our
Mm-hmm.
way up the corporate ladder. Like that's a 1980s life and work model. The
Mm-hmm.
2021 life and work model is work from home, sweatpants, laptops, cell phones. Like, I'm not saying that jobs are not still necessary, but the tools that are available to us now are different. So when I say, do you believe in it? I also ask everybody who's listening, do you believe in this? Because, and also, do you believe that, mindset in thinking, not caring about, not living your life for somebody else or not being critical of yourself. Do you believe that that's an empowering message? Do you believe that that's something that you should, that other people need to hear? Here's why I say that is because I believe that success comes from conviction.
Mm-hmm.
If I sit down with you, Sarah, and
Mm-hmm.
you and I are sitting across the table and I have a belief and you have a belief and we're going back and they're kind of opposing beliefs,
Mm-hmm.
and I have more conviction about my belief, then I have a better chance of influencing you
Mm-hmm.
because you have less conviction about your belief, right?
Yep.
So I have more of a chance to sway you. So when I've been training marketers and salespeople over the last decade, everybody's always looking for like the secret this, or what's the secret software, or the secret
Mm-hmm.
tool, or the salespeople say, what's the secret closing line? Tell me that. What's the line? How do you, right? And it's none of that. The person who has the most belief in what they do, and that belief and that conviction comes across in their communication and in their content, those are the people who are most successful,
I 100% agree.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so as you, and you know what, here's another thing. We even said because you described yourself as shy. Being shy or being introverted or extroverted has no determination about your success. I'm an introvert to the max. Now, when I get here on the show and I do content and stuff, I come alive. But um, I really enjoy being alone. I really enjoy. I don't particularly call it isolation, more like solitude. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
kind of how I recharge, and like maybe a good show or a good cigar, or maybe something like that. So that's why I asked that question, Sarah, about the belief in the conviction. As I'm talking about the belief in the conviction, that I have about mindset and entrepreneurship and stuff, what comes up for you? How is your beliefs, your belief system about making money? How has that changed over the last couple of months?
I think the biggest thing was going from a mindset of, just like kind of like collecting, hoarding, you can never have enough, you need, emergency, et cetera, has changed to a mindset of just not focusing so much on that aspect and
Mm,
focusing on, the real, like you say, belief and the conviction behind what I believe in,
yeah.
and the finance part will just follow. um, the idea of not trying to just sell, but to try to aid has really changed that mindset. The mindset of money, I was constantly stressing about, each month's set of bills, eventually having to get, an actual working car, all of that kind of just went away because I knew that if I kept doing what I was doing and believing in what I was doing, it would all just come later.
Yeah, that's a big shift, going from that sort of scarcity mentality to
Mm-hmm.
where like this few hundred or few $1,000s that I have saved here is all the money I'm ever going to see for the rest of my life. So I really have to guard it and protect it like it's
Mm-hmm.
like the most important thing in the world, versus in sort of an abundance growth mindset, in sort of philosophy where that you're a money magnet. That you're going to attract more money. That you're just getting started attracting money. You also know that there's so much money in the world that there's no shortage of it. If anything, there's like too much of it,
Mhm.
like because governments are printing, and there's, whether it's valuables, jewels, gold, whatever, property, things, there's just an abundance of currency in wealth that you can attract. And that's a big, being willing to spend your last, like being willing to spend your last $100, or, and this is just a hypothetical thing,
Mhm.
right? Being willing to spend your last $100 knowing that you can make it back, knowing that it will come back to you. That's a powerful place to be, because it removes all that desperation, Sarah, right? That, like,
Mhm.
that, those feelings of desperation, like, I have to make, if I don't make my first sale or make money in this first week, then I don't know what I'm going to do. I've been scammed again, and
Mhm.
it's like, that's, that's a desperation mindset. Nothing gets done in that mindset versus kind of sitting back and letting things come to you.
Mhm.
So that's how marketing works, right? Is there's an element of putting value out and trusting that things are going to come back to you. So what's been your content approach? You're exclusively on TikTok for now.
Mhm.
What have you learned in that process about how to create content, kind of how not to create content, right? Like, kind of like the desperate, pitchy,
Mhm.
salesy, please click my link and buy, that. What have you learned? And it may not be that, I'm just giving an example. What have you learned that works, and what have you learned that doesn't work in creating content specifically on TikTok?
Specifically on TikTok, I think that what I've kind of learned, as far as what you're putting out there, is you can take any trend, whether it's in your, you know, specified direction or not, and somehow make it not only work for you and show your personality in it, but you can also make it work for whatever you're talking about. So I've taken, audios or dances or, transitions, and been able to kind of work it to get my message across, but also leave an open end for questions. I really like it when people will ask me questions at either in the comments or, the
Yeah.
little Q&A section, being able to, get, the gears going for other people, that they want to ask questions, they want to know more. And, I want to answer. I try my best to answer absolutely everything,
Yeah.
but really opening the platform up for a community of just, everybody helping each other and everybody asking questions and getting answers for anything that they need.
Yeah. So are you doing a lot of trends slash, kind of, do you do more talking, or do you do more audio and sounds in the background with text on the screen?
I think right now I'm doing a lot more of like the audio with the text on the screen. Um, I tend, when it comes to me talking on videos, I tend to, fumble with words or stutter around or, lose my way of what I want to say. And it ends up taking longer than I'd like and should. So I try to keep, to answering questions on videos with me responding to them,
Yeah.
only for answering questions. But I like to do the audios with, just showing text on them. I think it's fun. I can add in facial expressions or hand movements and, different transitions to make it just a little more captivating or just fun. At the end of the day, when I'm making TikTok videos and posting them, it may, take like an hour to make a few, but it's all fun when I'm doing it. And I
Yeah.
think that's the best part of being on TikTok.
Yeah, so so why how is it fun? Why is it fun? Because I'm sure some people are thinking as they hear that, well, it's not been fun for me. I'm struggling, right? And they
Mm-hmm.
and they and they label themselves as the old newbie or the old struggler, which I really encourage all of you guys to stop doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Stop labeling yourself as I'm struggling, because if you, and I know I'm doing this thing, sorry, but I just feel like an old grandpa right now saying, don't do that, kids, get off my lawn. um but the old I'm struggling thing, let's really be conscious of our language. But I know a lot of people are thinking that. So how are you having fun how are you making this fun when really it can be it can be frustrating at times,
Oh
right?
yeah.
How are you? What is your secret sauce to keeping things light, not taking yourself too seriously, and keeping things fun?
Um, I'll have a list, you know, of what kind of videos I want to put out or what the message might be. I kind of sit down in the morning and I'll say, okay, how many do I want to make today? What's the overall message? And then let's look at, you know, what is kind of popular right now as far as sounds. And then I just kind of keep it light. I don't put so much, oh my gosh, I need to make these, I need to get this done, I need to
Yeah.
do it now. I kind of turn it into, you know, I'll bring my bunnies. I have 4 bunnies. I'll
Oh, wow.
incorporate them into the videos. You know, I've got a few stuffed animals lying around. I'll incorporate that, you know,
Yeah.
just kind of up in the air, you know, thinking of it as if I'm making videos with my friends too, just for fun,
Yeah.
instead of taking it in the aspect of like I necessarily like I'm making these for a job. It's more
Right.
or less I'm putting myself in the mindset of just I'm making the videos in general for fun and just, you know, to get other people asking questions so I can just, you know, talk and grow from there.
Well, one of the reasons why I asked Sarah, and I'm asking this also for all of you guys, is because if I'm watching somebody and they don't look like they're having fun,
Hmm.
I'm probably not going to be that interested in what they're doing. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times I look at somebody and I look at if they're having fun and looking like they're enjoying what they're doing, and I judge if I want to take the next step based on that, right? So if you guys are not having fun and you're looking kind of all stiff and rigid and kind of you like you got a scowl right under that fake smile, then don't. I mean, people can read your energy,
Hmm.
right? People are not going to remember everything that you say, even on video. They'll remember 10-ish% of what you say, but they'll remember how you made them feel when they watched your content, right? And I
Hmm.
think that having fun, and not just, first trying to have fun. Sure, if you're struggling, if you're trying to have fun, but then get yourself to the point to where it is fun. You're not taking
Hmm.
yourself so seriously. And I love that. I love that, Sarah. What else would you tell you if you were talking to yourself on day one? So what is some kind of day one or first quarter advice to this game that you could give some of the folks in our community?
Definitely the first thing when I started doing this, even though I am part of the, you know, younger tech generation, I'm 22. Um, I'm not very tech savvy, and I think the first thing would be just you can learn. There are people here to help you. You know, breathe, relax, don't get too, you know, worked up about the idea of what you don't know.
Mm.
Just soak it all in. If you take a breath and sit back and just kind of take in information and take in knowledge and willing to ask questions, you know, it's okay to reach out. You know, there is no dumb or stupid question. That's something that I say, you know, when answering people's questions as well. You know, when they're apologizing, you know, there's no need to apologize. There's absolutely no limit on what type or how many questions that you can ask. I
Yeah.
think that would definitely been the first thing. And then basically what I just said about, you know, not taking it so seriously as necessarily a job, but just, you know, make it fun for you. You know, do it for you and do it to help others and spread a message instead of just focusing on like that aspect.
Yeah. I just love the message this morning of just like, it doesn't matter about how you look or sound, or even you said, sometimes I fumble and bubble, so I've
Mhm.
adjusted and now I do. It's not that I never talk, but now I do more of these other style videos. I'm finding my lane, and I'm just focusing on delivering value, have fun, and
Mhm.
engage with people. Like, deliver value also through the comments and answering questions and stuff like that, and just being of service. Not everybody's a Tony Robbins fan. I don't like everything he does, but there's a lot of validity in the message of the more you give and the more you serve. If that is your mission in your work, is just to serve and give and deliver value. Like, that's my mission. My mission is not, I never have income goals. You know,
Hmm.
which is weird. Wait, Dave, what do you mean you don't have income goals? I just don't. I don't sit around and obsess about, okay, I want to make 10,000 or 100,000 or million or whatever this month or this year, or whatever. I ask myself, how can I deliver more value? How can I help people get more results? How can I update training? How can I do this show? When the pandemic struck in early 2020, we got together. I thought for just a couple of split seconds, and it was like, okay, I got to do this show every day.
Hmm.
And it just was that. It was just like, this is a huge ass commitment to do this every day, and the organization of reaching out to people and do it's a big commitment.
Hmm.
And it's not an immediate like, oh yeah, oh everybody now go buy stuff right off the show, right? But it's an investment of delivering value. And that's what I'm obsessed about. And I think that what you're talking about today with just getting out of your own way, just getting comfortable in your skin, don't worry about the makeup, don't worry about the suit and tie, don't worry about how you look, how you sound,
Hmm.
what your background is. I mean, look at this shit. I mean, I got this hilarious light that is like, it's a light that doesn't even have a cover on it. I mean, it's the most janky ass thing, but it's like, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Who cares? It does not matter, because what matters is, now could I have I could have an awesome light. I mean, I could get any light I want, but it just doesn't matter.
Hmm.
It doesn't matter. You know,
It really doesn't.
it doesn't. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody is like, oh my God, I can't believe that light Dave has back there. Look at
Yeah,
it.
I have my couch in the background of most of my videos, That's I'll just do it in my living room.
Well, that's people want to see real life. I talked about this yesterday, but the C to C economy, creator to consumer, man, that's where we're at right now. And but it's we're both humans, we're both real people. It's not company, right? But
Hmm.
and it feels like it's just person to person, although it's creator to consumer. Like one
Hmm.
person has a different agenda than the other. But the consumer wants to feel like the creator, they can relate to the creator.
Hmm.
They can identify. They like, oh, that's a real person. And
Yeah.
that it doesn't matter across what niche you're in, what subject matter. If somebody is watching your stuff on Instagram, Facebook, watching an ad video, it doesn't matter. And they go, man, I really like that just relatable. I can really relate to that person. Man, that is the glue that moves this new creator to consumer economy that we're in right now. And you're a perfect example of that. So thank you. Keep up the great work. And I hope that you'll continue to come back and keep us updated on your journey.
Definitely. Thank you so much for having me. This has been great.
Well, you've been great. All right. So keep up the great work, and we'll talk to you soon. All right.
Thank you.
All right. See ya. All right, guys, go and follow Sarah at the Blonde Affiliate over on TikTok. She's doing cool things. She's just crushing it and just doing a great job. And I can't wait to see sort of how she expands and what's next. I mean, this is early in the game for her, just like many of you. And I want to say this before we end: whether you're just starting or my friend, you want to start over in your business, it is okay, right? Take your time, give yourself a break, realize that this is not, even though some people make it seem easy, it's like, Sarah, wow, is it 24 days? Holy crap. Like sometimes I in recovery. As many of you guys know, I'm in long-term addiction for drug and alcohol dependency, right? You guys, I mean, basically what I'm trying to say is I was a junkie at one time. Okay. Is what I'm trying to say here. And I got clean and been in long-term recovery for over a decade. And there's a saying that sometimes we heal and recover quickly and sometimes slowly. And that was a lesson that I learned early on, that I didn't want to compare myself to other people. If I was, 2 years clean and didn't have a car yet or whatever, I didn't want to compare myself to this guy over here who had been clean for 30 days and got a job in a car. And I'm going, hey, what the hell? Like, God, you forgot about me. Sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. Just stay in the game. Don't quit before the miracle happens. That's another thing they told me. I'm passing that on to you. Don't quit before the miracle happens. Okay? See you guys back here tomorrow. Wake up legendary. Be legendary. Peace.